Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I have two beautiful die sets from TONIC Studios that I'm going to share with you. And the first one is the Simply Shoe Box die set, and you can make the shoes and the box there, and you do not have to use this with it, but it really complements it and it's beautiful. This is the Fancy Floral Frames die set, and this can be used to decorate the box, which is in this one. So, if you haven't been here before, you're very, very welcome. In fact, if you have been here before, you're really, really welcome too. So, I have lots and lots of videos on different playlists that are all connected to TONIC Studios. I've several of my own as well, but if you're a TONIC fan and you're here because of that today, don't forget you can subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and that way you'll be able to keep up to date with lots and lots of videos that are coming from TONIC Studios. Usually at any given time I have several of them in drafts and ready to publish whenever the dies themselves are ready. So today I'm going to have a look at this. I will have my affiliate links to this down below, so you'll be able to find the products. I'll show you what all I use, and we'll just get making it. If you're enjoying it as you look along, don't forget to give me a little thumbs up, and I really, really would love you to leave me a little comment, because that really helps. It helps me to know what you're thinking, and it also lets me know that there's someone out there and not just a lot of names. It's really lovely to connect that way, so thank you very, very much. I'll have a quick look at this one first of all. So this is the Simply Shoe Box die set, and it says it creates a variety of elegant shoes and a delightful shoe box, and the largest die cut is 5.7 inches by 4.7 inches, and that is 146 millimeters by 120 millimeters, and there are 40 dies in the set. So if I open this up, you'll see right away that the die set is in a pocket there, and all the instructions are here. Now, this is my first time opening this, so I haven't made it, and I'm hoping these are really, really simple. If not, don't worry, I'll make the mistakes and save you the card and save you making any as well. Now, here are the dies. I just set these on top of a piece of paper. So these ones, actually the outline ones here, are the ones that you will use to make the box later on for putting these shoes in. And this one is for the sides and decorative detail for the lid and whatnot. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, when I buy a die set, or when you buy a die set, I always like to show you how you can get as much value for your money as possible. So I'll be looking at this in different ways. I can see already that you could make a card with this. You could have this hinged over and have a gatefold which actually crosses over each other with this and this together. I'm even thinking something that I could do with the shoe. I think that shoe would make an absolutely beautiful bookmark for a book lover who also loves shoes. I'm thinking that you could possibly even add the flat shoe onto a card and make the front of it a little pocket to put some money or a gift token or something in, or even just a little note. It would be absolutely beautiful in a memory book to have these shoes maybe decorated up in some way that would maybe match in with some particular page or some particular memory that you're thinking of, and then you could put a little tag in there as well. So there's lots and lots of things you can do with that. And I've actually just noticed that there are two dies that I had already lifted out to have a look at, because I was thinking of just a little adaptation, because I wanted to change this up a little bit, but they pop on there, and they are actually the little shoe front, and these are the tabs that go over the front of the shoe and tuck in behind to make this little front part. So let's get started. Now, when I went to make one of these shoes and cut out all the pieces, there were so many ideas came flooding into my head, because it's just a really, really basic thing to cut this part out, and then, as you know yourself, even if you just look in your own shoe cupboard, you will find loads of ideas that will come to mind that you can use with this. You don't have to add the heel on, you can have it flat. You could even round the toe a little bit. Oh, do you know, just so many. I actually had to just write a little note and remind myself of lots of the ideas that I wanted to try, and I'm busy at the moment. I've got lots of things on, and I won't have time to do them all, but if you watch to the end of the video, I'll give you a little quick run through some of the ideas that I've written down, and hopefully that will spark your imagination. But all you'll need to do is even look up shoes on the internet or in your own cupboard, and you'll see the kind of things you like. But anyhow, for this one, I've gone ahead and I've cut out the basic shoe. Now I've done this twice because we're going to obviously make 2 shoes this time. As I progress, I might just do 1 shoe of each type just to let you see the possibilities. But this is the top, and then the underneath part is the opposite side around, because you'll need that as well to cover all the little joins in below. So you'll need both of those for 1 shoe. And then I have cut a little toe piece as well, which I have here. Now I'm going to show you the one that I've already tried this out on. This is some faux leather that I had, because years and years ago, when that was all the thing, I actually used that on some things, and I made my sons, who were a lot younger at the time, I made them headboards and covered them with this, and well, attached lights over the headboard and whatnot, and it was really nice. But being a crafter, I didn't throw any of the little scraps out so that I could use it again. So this is what I've come up with this time. It's a little flat shoe. I didn't put the heel on, but there's the underneath part that's covering all the folds and whatnot. But I've cut out these centre parts at the front of it there, and the heel part on the outside and the inside here, and the little strap, and I've cut those all in the faux leather. Now mine actually had a backing on it, so you can see here that it's got fabric on there, and that meant that my die cutting machine didn't cut it out exactly perfectly, but it has left it like this. And there, I'm just showing you this one. You can just nip out the little pieces that haven't actually cut right through, but they're mostly there. And then if there are any little ragged bits like that, you can just trim them off and have that nice and perfect. You can use all sorts of things for this, but the dies, as you know, will cut through card and everything really well, but I just wanted to try this, and I found it really worked. Now, for the front bit there, I tried this with the fabric on its own, and it just went flat, and I wanted it to sit up. We see a little bit of dimension on it there, and I wanted it to sit up like that. So what I did was I took the 2 dies, and I'll show you them here. I've taken these 2 dies together, and this is the one that I cut out with the fabric, the faux leather, and then I used this one with card. Now this is 300 GSM card, so I've cut that out and I've glued that on the inside, and I've shaped it slightly with my bone folder, and that way that's going to give this a little bit of rigidity and a little bit more shape, that it will hold like that. And what I'm going to do now then is glue this on here. Now, I have tried this a few times, and the way I have found that it works easiest for me is to put a little bit of high-tack tape along this edge, fold these over onto it. Now, normally I would say don't use high-tack tape on something that's going to maybe be handled a lot, because eventually that will wear off. It'll take a long time, but eventually it will wear off. You want a bit of wet glue just to hold it. But what I'm going to do is put high-tack tape in below to hold these tabs over, and then I'll be adding the other piece on top with the wet glue, and that way we've got lots and lots of security there to hold it in. Now you can see that this is a lot bigger, so that a lot bigger than this area, and that is because you're going to put this along here, and then this will be folded up the way like this, and this side then will attach on here. So I'll put my foam tape on, my high-tack tape on, and then I will cover it over. And you can probably see there along this edge, now you obviously might not use the same fabric as I've done, but along this edge, whenever I cut that, it had a little white piece showing, and I just coloured that in with an alcohol marker. So here we go. We're going to put the tape on and then glue it down. You'll probably have noticed there that I took some of these off and pulled them over a little bit tighter, because these little edges can poke out if you don't have them turned in, and I think it's always better just to push a little piece of that part over in behind there as well, and it makes a really neat edge along here then. And then I'm just going to attach this little heel piece in the same way. So first of all, I'm going to just shape it slightly with my bone folder. We'll have all these little tabs turned over. Now this piece is going to go on directly as it is, and then I'm going to add the faux leather on both sides of it. So you can see here how I've added it in here, the cream part first, the ivory, and then leather on both sides. So that's what I'll do here again. And once again, I'm going to add the tape in below to stick this to first of all, and then we'll add the pieces onto that. And then now you can cover all these tabs up with this piece on the underside, and we'll add plenty of glue on this time. A couple of little pegs usually for a moment or two will help that just to hold, and then I have all these other pieces cut out that I can add on. So you can see here I keep all my dies in my magnetic stand, because that way I don't lose them or misplace them as I'm working away here. But I'll just show you what I've used here. It's this large die cut the outside edge, and then I have this one, I'll show you it here. This one, then I've cut out the two pieces for the inside and the outside of the heel, and then these pieces, which are actually decorative, they've got beautiful debossing parts on them there. I'll just show you, which are absolutely stunning on gold card or any kind of mirror card. You won't see it on this, but you can cut it out with it. And then I have used this piece here for a little strap. That's this one, and this one here then is my little buckle, and I've cut that out in gold. I've also used the little Nico. You're going to get used to Nico snoring in the background. Actually, you don't have to. I'm going to have to stop this because he loves to come into my room now whenever I'm crafting, and he certainly doesn't find it as exciting as I do. So he falls asleep in no time and snores far too loudly. Anyhow, right, so that's the bow die that I that I used, and I have cut these tails and cut this part off, and just the little top part off, and I'm going to glue that on there. I'm just going to speed this up as I do it, but I'll show you these parts first. I will curve those with my bone folder, and the same there, and I'll go ahead and glue all these pieces on. So there they are, a pair of little flatties. I haven't added the heel on, but look, do you see what I've done? The buckle's in the wrong place. It should have been out there. Anyway, on mine we're going to have the buckles in there because I'm not going to take that off again now. But actually you probably noticed there that I pulled this back again. This part is best, can you see it there? This part is best tucked in behind that if you are adding an extra layer, and then you won't see that. But if I were you, I'd put the buckles out there because I don't actually think I've got a pair of shoes with the buckles in there, but I might have, you never know. I told you I was having far too much fun with these. I've had a look in the cupboard. I've got sandals quite like this with the kind of perspex front on them. So I've used the TONIC construction weight acetate, and it's perfect for that. Do you like that? Anyway, these ones aren't finished yet, but I've got one done, and I thought I've added the paper in between at the bottom there, and what I actually did was I didn't cut the smaller die piece to go in there. I recut this one and just chopped it off right across there. So that's just this toe part, and I cut it off at that score line and glued it in on both of these. And then I used the smaller piece for the heel here for both of them and got the rose on there as well, and that's gorgeous. I love it. And I've also taken this acetate, and as I just said, it was the construction weight, so I have die cut it. Well, I've run it through my tangerine. Wait a see, I'll have to set it on something here so you can see it better. I put it on through the tangerine, and it cut most of it out, but it just left a little bit, and I followed that around with these scissors then and have it right on here. But like my own sandals or shoes or whatever, they are peep toe, so I didn't want this right over the front. So just the bottom part there, see that bottom one? Can you just see that? Yeah, this one and the next two, I'm going to remove them. So right below the tab that's just above that there to the one across there, and I'm just going to follow with the scissors in a curve right across there and nip that bit off. And then I have the size to go on the opposite side here, and so that looks very flat now, but as soon as I fold all these tabs back and do this in exactly the same way as I did the last shoe and put my tape on in behind. So it's really easy this time because you've no piece to do down at the toe there, and it actually stays a lot quicker and a lot easier. So you can see there, oh you can't because I've already covered the back, but anyhow I will put tape on here, hold that tightly, and then bring this one up and add it to tape on the other side, and Bob's your uncle. I did the same thing on the last one here. I waited until I had this on just so that I could get the curve of this properly, but I've cut a very narrow sliver of black, and I'm going to just put that right across here. So I want another little piece of card on the back there just to hold that. So I glue tape, dear. And then I'm going to put a little line of glue right across the front, hold that with pegs and glue it in at the back, and I'll do the same with the front bit. Put a little double-sided tape on the back just to hold the ends of the little black strip, and I've taken the backing off it, and that will give extra security. And now I can just put some glue on here and then add the bottom sole on to cover all of that. So I have got a heel already on this one, and I'm going to show you how I do that on the other one here. I don't actually know why, but I sort of felt the need to try and recreate one of my own shoes, but it was impossible because I have ones like these, but this whole wedge part is acrylic and see-through as well, and I just couldn't do it with these dies. But anyhow, I tried to make the heel in acrylic as well, in acetate, like my acrylic heels, but the glue was showing through as well. So anyhow, we've now got this, and I did even think of putting coloured on as well, but I'm going to leave it black. And they're slip-on, so they're high heels as well. They're not that high, so that's fine. Anyhow, I don't even know why that comes into your mind that you want to try and make something that you've got in the cupboard, but there you are. There's the die for the heel, and you need to cut that out 3 times and burnish all those score lines really, really well. Now, I have made these heels a few times, and I do suggest that you just go very, very slowly and make sure they dry properly and in the right place before you move on to the next stage. Just take your time. So what you want to do is attach these. Basically what we're doing is going like this and getting the 3 attached together like that, but you've got to make sure that you have them perfectly right, or they're not going to be in the right place and they won't fold up properly. So just take your time and do this. So when you've got the first one on, make sure that this piece comes up and this piece comes up over that fold, and just let it sit for a minute or two. Don't be rushing on to the next bit, because if that slides around again, you're definitely not going to get that right. I'm going to glue right down these edges and glue them all together, but I'm going to go really, really slowly until I have them all perfectly formed like this heel. And then I'll attach this to the top. So I've cut that out with a little hexagon die, that's this one. And then I'll glue that to the heel like this and fold these score lines first. There we are. Now we've got a little pair of flatties with the faux leather on them, and they look really cute. And then we've got a bit more elegant type of slippery shoes, mules, with the acetate across the front, and they've turned out really nicely. But I actually think that these could be used for other things as well. I'm going to be making a shoebox with the dies as well, but just before I do that, I wanted to show you that if you've got a shoe lover and they also like to read, well, we've got a bookmark here. So I have just cut this flat and laid this part over the top, and I've also put a tag in it because you could use that as a tag on a gift as well. So there's lots of other ways of doing that, and I wanted to show you this one as well because I thought this turned out well. So this is a little flat slipper. I'm not putting anything on the bottom of it. I'm just going to leave it like that. You could put a couple of little sweets or something in here, but I thought this would be really, really nice as a little name place marker for maybe a wedding or a party or something like that. And I've put a little oval here, and you could write the name on there. Isn't that a good idea as well? So you're not just tied to a pair of shoes, but you could even put one of these like this way onto the front of a card as well. So they don't necessarily have to be 3-dimensional. But I'm going to go now and get the stuff out to make a little box, probably for this one. To make the box, then you'll need to use one of these for the base and 2 each of these side panels, the shorter one and the longer one, and we'll assemble it just like this. So these are the side pieces with 1 tab on the long side there, and these are all facing upright with the top facing upwards. And I'm going to put glue on these tabs, set this on top and get it all nice and straight, and then do the same with this one, and then we'll do the sides after I've done that. add glue on these tabs and bring the whole box together. You need to cut out another 2 panels. One is for the top and one is for covering the joins in below. But I've actually cut 3 and I have put the patterned paper the same as my little mules onto the top of that. And then you use these 2 dies and you'll cut out 2 of each of those. And again I have gone ahead with all of the pieces and decorated it with these as well. So I have all of these together here and I'm going to assemble them. So I'll just leave this one aside for the moment because that's to cover the joins, and I'll glue all these together. Whenever I come to glue the corners, I don't want to push them really tight together. I'll just leave a tiny little gap the whole way around, and that way it'll fit really well and easily over the box. That's it, a lovely box to put the shoes in. You could use this for a gift box. You could use those dies to make cards, as I said before. And there's lots of room in there if you wanted to pop those in. You could do them like this, set them in just as a little gift, and then put another gift in beside it. There's loads of room in there for other things as well. Now, I hope you have really enjoyed that. I have loved it. I've loved making all of those. They're very I don't know, it was just something about it that made me want to try. So I think you could try strappy sandals. You could have straps coming this way. I know I said I'd give you a few ideas of other things at the end. You could have coloured heels. You could have, well, all sorts of things. Just look through your own shoe stash. And again, don't forget that you can use them as tags and bookmarks and place names and whatnot. So I should say before I disappear completely that there's another die set here called the Fancy Floral Frames die set. So that's the Fancy Floral Frames die set. And it has lots of dies in there that you can use to decorate the lid of your box, and different ones in here as well. Now this video is long enough as it is at the moment, so I'm going to go and do a separate video of that one, and I'll link it down below in the description. So if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to come back and visit me again. If you haven't already subscribed, maybe you'd think about doing that and hitting the notification bell. Even share the video if you like. But I'd love you to leave me a little comment and let me know what sorts of things you like, what you've enjoyed about this video, and what things you'd like to see next. So thank you very much. My links to all of the products will be down below. They're all affiliate links and I really appreciate everybody who uses those. So thank you so much, and until next time, bye!